Good morning.
It is.
I guess I don't have a question at the moment. People who know me well would say, well, that'd be a first. I just want to share, what was for me a very profound experience in my life, at least given my living at 35 years of experience. It's powerful. At the age of 31, I was injured on a project. I'm a geologist by trade. It was a very traumatic experience. I suffered a traumatic brain injury. I wouldn't say suffered. I misspoke, but I experienced a traumatic brain injury. Hospitalized for 2 months, then several years of therapies. I had a neurologist, psychologist, neuropsychiatrist, neuropsychologist, physical therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, and it's been a long journey of rebuilding my life. But what I wanted to share with you today and just get your feedback on, because I find that the more I share this, the more clarity comes from it, the more insight I gain from my experience. I guess it traditionally is called a near-death experience, though I don't know if that was really the case. But I guess I did nearly croak, as you say, and I did go non-physical. I mean, I guess I'm told by my doctors that as far as my vitals, they flatlined for some unknown period of time. And I did go to a non-physical state of existence.
Yeah.
And it was magical. It was wonderful. I mean, the experiences were profound. And as I recall them more and more and more, I journal them and I write down more of what I gained from the experience. Just witnessed wonderful things. People talk about rising above themselves when they have these experiences. I didn't see myself in the hospital bed, but I saw people, my family, my wife, my mother and father, my brother or sister-in-law looking down at somebody or something that was obviously me, but also saw relatives who are now deceased there, my grandparents, for example, and then went to a place in the non-physical and had a conversation with God or Source and got to ask some important questions and got some great answers. And I saw a good friend of mine who died or deceased or croaked when we were both 25, best friend for 23 years. And it was a beautiful, pure experience.
That's because you went to see him. That's what it was all about. Your longing for him gave you the opportunity to go have that believable conversation.
It was powerful. So I was there, and he was almost like he was there to receive me and be someone with whom I felt the comfort with and familiarity in a very foreign, unfamiliar place. And I said, I missed you and I love you so much. And I said, I want to stay here with you.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not your time.
Right.
And
but it was time for a visit.
It was.
A believable visit.
I've gotten since then, so, this is unusual, and this is the circumstances.
And then he said, or he's saying now, I really appreciate the trouble you went to.
Nice to catch up.
You always went the extra mile for me.
I hope so.
You always went the extra brain injury, occupational therapist, for me.
This was another life-changing experience, is that only 3 days before my injury, my wife and I, we conceived our son. And I had no knowledge of her pregnancy at the time. He's probably maybe 8 split cells in her uterus at the time, but as far as in the 3D sense. But when I was in this non-physical plane where you exist always, I saw him and I held him. It was a perfect, beautiful, glowing, golden little boy. When he was born 9 months later, that's exactly how he looked.
Yeah.
And I saw my best friend Christian, and he said, it's not your time. And I accepted that, could not resist that. And I totally get that it was an opportunity to gain from the experience and then come back here to be a father to my son who is beautiful and perfect. And in so many ways, as you say all the time, he's the teacher and I'm the student, and I'm gaining so much from him and just trying to share my experiences, which are maybe more than his, but maybe not. It's just a life-changing, no doubt, person changing experience. And I guess I'm here today sharing with you just to maybe receive any kind of feedback or reflections that could...
To receive, yes, and we'll offer some things, but even more than that, to give confirmation to everything that we've been talking about. Your experience confirms the reality of physical and non-physical and your relationship to it.
Yes.
It explains the eternalness of everyone and the attention of those who are non-physically focused about you.
Yes.
It addresses the pre-paving that we've all been talking about and the existence of the vortex, where there is a reality who you interacted with even before his physical apparatus was formed and had been given birth to. Your experience and your perfect articulation of it explains the relationship between physical and non-physical in perfect explanation.
When I listen to your recordings, and it has been for several years now, they'll be sharing, and you'll say things, and I'll say, "Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. Oh, that is true." Because what you're saying,
there is not a shred of evidence in your enlightened experience to the contrary of everything that we've been explaining.
Absolutely.
That's nice to know, isn't it?
And so for a long time, it was a hard, and still is a long road of recovery. And there was a bit of resentment, why this happened, blah, 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 blah. But I got to a point where what was so physically traumatic and cognitively traumatic and emotionally traumatic, the experience became nothing but a blessing to my existence in every way, shape, and form. And the peace with that was just profound.
Because nothing went wrong.
No.
Because things are always working out for you.
Absolutely.
And because there was a whole lot in your vortex that was explained through that experience that could have been explained otherwise, but you're always in a hurry about those kinds of things.
Yeah, I am. All the time. Impatient. Thank you for calling it out.
Yeah. Something more?
I have lots, but that's good.
It is good.
Thank you.